It starts with yourself. Nobody can like make you become a leader. It all strives and stems with personal ambition. And I know it can be scary, but even like the littlest things can also count as leadership.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Ursule, and I'm here with my colleague Nicole Camacho.
Hi.
Welcome back to the USU podcast. This show is where we spotlight students and community leaders who are shaping the Tucson community and the campus.
In this episode, we're joined by Victoria Gallardo, who is a student here at the University of Arizona. She's going into her sophomore year. She's also student senator for the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Victoria shares her journey as stepping into a leadership position, how she overcame challenges, and also what her mom inspires her into this new journey.
So whether you're a student considering leadership for the first time or simply curious about the impact one voice can make at a time, Victoria here will offer real insight, honest advice, and a powerful message about leading with passion and inspiration.
Hi everyone, welcome to the UAZ podcast. Today I'm here with Rebecca Ursule, who's the co-host and also host of the podcast. And I'm also here with Victoria Gallardo.
Yeah.
It's so nice meeting you, and I am so happy that you're here, and we get to learn more about the Student Senate here at the U of A. So please introduce yourself. What do you do? What are you majoring in, and do you do any extra stuff outside of ASUA?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm Victoria Gallardo. I am an incoming sophomore, so I just finished my first year at the U of A back in May. I'm originally from Goodyear, Arizona, and I'm majoring in agricultural business management and economics, and I'm triple minoring in Spanish, business administration, and leadership skills. And so that's like my major. I'm part of the College of Agriculture. And apart from ASUA, I'm also involved in Blue Chip. It's a leadership club on campus, and we have to take like leadership courses. And I'm also hired for an on-campus job that is a leadership role for Destination Arizona. And I'm also involved in the Camp Kesem group. It's a club where we raise money for students who are impacted by their parents' cancer journey, and we sponsor them for camp each year so they can have a nice week of just childhood and they can enjoy being a kid. So I'm involved in those things on campus.
That's amazing. How do you manage time with all that? I'm wondering because I think that's so much work.
Oh my goodness. So since Senate hasn't really started with the school year yet, it's pretty simple right now. I can't imagine how it's going to get in the next couple of weeks as the semester begins and we start having to do more tasks with Senate. But for my freshman year, I just tried to have a good sleep schedule, wake up, prioritize my homework, stay involved. I love staying involved with my community. Back in high school, I was super involved with my community, helping as much as I could. I was in the FFA organization, and I just loved that, and that's kind of where I got my love for leadership and just taking action. So, and I try to use that to have like time management skills in a sense. So I hope it'll go well for the upcoming semester with everything that I have to juggle.
Yeah, me and Rebecca were student senators at PIMA, so we kind of relate in that. So our first question is, what made you run for student senator for College of Agriculture?
Okay, so I actually am really good friends with the previous senator, Mr. Edgar Zambrano, and I kind of asked him a couple questions about it, and he's like, you should totally do it, like, you're a great candidate. So I was like, okay, like, I guess I can try something new, step out of my comfort zone for my freshman year, and gave it a shot, and ended up working out in my favor. So it was pretty exciting for going from a switch from like a high school leadership position to like a collegiate one for the student body, so I'm pretty excited for it.
Did anything motivate you?
I guess mainly my mom, because she's like, you have to do this, like it's a great opportunity. And she just thought like if I can stay involved as much as I can, now that I'm kind of off on my own, so she's like, I think you can do it, so you should try. So she kind of was a good motivation factor for me.
That's true. Many parents always play a very big role in our lives,
Yeah.
motivating us to do a lot of stuff. What have been some of the biggest challenges you've faced in student leadership so far? I know you've just started, but what are some of the challenges you've faced?
Like you just mentioned, I did just start, so I really haven't had too much But biggest challenge is probably finding a connection with campus, because it can be a little difficult coming to like such a huge campus and there's thousands of students.
Yeah.
And it was a little difficult at me to find my place first. And even while running for Senate, I was super nervous, and having to ask for signatures, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what's the point of doing that? Yeah, and it was just so nerve-wracking to like approach people.
Yeah.
And I did have some people who were part of the College of Ag, so I had those connections. And just the most challenging part was making new connections with people. So it was definitely scary, but I got it done, so.
Yeah. So how did you push through like some of those challenges? Like, you know, because I can relate to that, because when I came to the University of Arizona, I wanted to run for student senate, but it was my first semester. So they were like, one of the requirements, you have to get over 175 signatures. So I went over, I looked for those signatures. I was new to the campus. But what happened was that they were like, you haven't taken any classes here, so you can't run for student senate. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So how did you like get those signatures overall? Did you, I mean, you said you were part of some of the clubs, so did you go to those clubs, or you had more friends?
I didn't really have that many friends to start with, but I did have a couple connections, like with the previous Senator Edgar. He was like, oh, you can, you know, go ask around students in Kales. So I went to the Forbes building, which is like mainly the Kales like general area, and I was just like hovering around waiting for students to walk in and walk out. And there were a couple, I'm like, are you part of Kales? They were like, no. And I'm like, but you're in the building. And they're like, I'm not though. I was like, okay, like that works. And I was just like marching around the student union for like 3 hours, just like, are you in Kales? Are you in Kales? And most kids were like, what even is that? And I was like, it's the College of Agriculture. And a boy was like, what's that? And I was like, oh my gosh. And then he's like, we have that. And I'm like, we do have this at the school. But I was like, it's obvious you're not part of that, but that's totally okay. But I did have a friend who was in the Sigma Alpha sorority, and they're the agricultural based one. So I reached out to them, and they were kind enough to let me go, and you know, I had to give a little speech, and I got some signatures. And same with the agricultural fraternity. It was kind of scary because I'm like, I've never been in a crowd of such big people, like a big group of people by myself. And so I gave another speech to them, and they were kind enough to all sign my paper, and I would just wait outside of classrooms of like agricultural specific kids and just get them all to sign it until I reached my signature count. But it was quite stressful.
Yeah, but I think it's a very good opportunity because it lets you to be out there, talk to other students, make new friends and connection, like you said. But also like creating an awareness, because you realize that most students don't know about student senate at campus. And then when you talk to them, they're like, oh, we have this, that's really cool. How can I join? I can get involved. So it's really a very good opportunity.
Oh yeah, it was great. And like for the ones that did help me sign, like they'd catch me on campus. They're like, how'd it go? Did you get it? And I'm like, I did get it. And it was pretty great. I had like a little community, and then when it was time to vote, they're all like, we voted for you, Victoria. And I was like, oh, I'm like, thank you. I'm like, that's so nice. But yeah.
You talked about how you were super involved in high school. Do you want to talk more about that?
Of course. So I was in FFA. It's an agricultural organization. It stood for the Future Farmers of America. I think now it just goes by the National FFA organization. And again, motivation was my mom. She was like, I'm going to put you in FFA, because she did it back in the day when she was in high school. And I ended up loving it, and I was super involved, and I would run for chapter office. So I was like the chapter vice president, and it was just great. That's where I like to give lots of credit for my public speaking skills and my leadership, because my advisor pushed us so hard to step out of our comfort zone, try our best, be welcoming to others, and just to take the lead when needed. And yeah, I did a lot in FFA. I was super involved. I went and got my state degree here at the U of A for our state competition and everything. So it was just a huge part of my high school year, and it was super involved with the community the whole time, because we loved to serve our community. Like part of the motto of FFA is living to serve. So that's where like my love for that came from.
How did that shape you into a leader today?
Oh, I think it kind of shaped me to be like a servant leader, in the sense of helping others and putting their needs before mine, and also not being scared to lead, because we had to do like public speaking competitions, and you're in front of all these judges that you don't know who they are, and it really just shaped my speaking skills. So I'm forever grateful for that.
It's really important to know how to talk in front of many people, I feel.
So for students who have not taken any of those leadership roles in high school, and they're at the university or at college and they really want to step into leadership roles, what advice do you have for them?
Oh man. Well, first I'm super grateful for having my opportunity to be involved in leadership in high school. But I guess my advice would be like, it starts with yourself. Nobody can like make you become a leader. It all strives and stems with personal ambition. And I know it can be scary, but even like the littlest things can also count as leadership. Advocating for yourself, helping your community in any way, just getting involved in ways that you can. And being on campus is already super out of my comfort zone, like coming to live on my own. And I was already super uncomfortable on campus because I'm like, I don't know anybody. I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I'm at. And so already being here, everybody's already out of their comfort zone, and you have to just step a little bit further and to just make a connection, even no matter how nerve-wracking it can be. Even just a simple conversation, you're already taking a stance of leading and getting to know somebody else, and then just step by step taking it further and just getting involved as much as you can is what I would say. And just believe in yourself to do it. So.
To the end of the episode, our last question is, what kind of impact do you want to leave behind? I know you're just starting, but what's your goal at the end?
I don't really think I've thought too much into this question, but I guess a good impact I would want to leave is being a voice for my community, and especially being a first-generation student. It means a lot to me. And I remember I had I wasn't embarrassed, but I was a little like shy, especially on the first couple weeks when they'd ask, who's a first gen? I would kind of like put my hand up super quietly in the corner. And I think just, I think it's really important that we take pride in being first gen students and, first generation, second generation, however many generations of college kids there are. It's just important to stand up for yourself, and I think I want to leave that impact for others. You might think, oh, I'm a first gen, like maybe I can't do that because you're new to this, but it's like you can do whatever you put your mind to, which I know is like a little cringy, but it's true, So I think that's mainly my impact, is to just be some kind of an inspiration and uplifting role for other first generation students and just anybody else on campus. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
This has been amazing. And thank you for inspiring students out there. I know many students will be inspired. And thank you for your service here at the University of Arizona.
Oh, thank you guys so much.
We appreciate your work. And the College of Agriculture too is happy to have you as their student senate. I know you're representing them so well. So thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for having me. This was so much fun.